Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members, Poke fans, and others who stump on this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen here with a little bit of announcement, news, speculation. There's a lot of things I want to talk about in this video, so let's get right into it. So yesterday, while I was roaming through the internet and Twitter and all that stuff, I saw an article that really interested me. It was posted by Cerebi and Pokemon Community and a bunch of other outlets that basically said that Brock and Misty will be coming back to the anime in Sun and Moon. So when I read this article, I saw that, Ash is apparently going to Kanto on a field trip. I don't know what the field trip is for, but he's going back to Kanto for a bit, and he's going to be facing off and meeting back up with Misty and Brock. He's actually going to battle both of them as well. Brock will have a Mega Steelix, and Misty will have a Mega Gyarados. So that's kind of cool. I gotta admit, I'm glad to see these characters back. The only thing that's weird to me is they're using the old Gen 1 outfits, even though Misty has a much cooler one, more sleek design, and Brock changed outfits in Gen 4, so that one kind of threw me for a loop. The thing that I'm assuming what happened was that they're trying to like recapture the Gen 1 audience, which makes no sense because nobody who played the original Gen 1 games, and that was the only version they played, would be watching the anime at this state. So I highly doubt any of them would even recognize or pay attention to these news, right? So that kind of gets lost for those people. If you've been watching the anime consistently, you've known about their new outfits. So it's kind of weird to see them in their old ones. Now the thing that I interested me about this news a lot is it's gonna bring up a fact for the games, right? This is the main reason for this video and all that stuff, speculation, if you will. They're really hinting a lot back to Kanto. Now they had Pokemon Go. They re-released the original games on the Virtual Console. They meant your character in Sun and Moon is from Kanto. Lily goes to Kanto at the end of the game. Ash over here is going back to Kanto to meet up with Brock and Misty. They're really shoving Gen 1 down our throats. So there's two possibilities here. Either in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we will be allowed to go back to Kanto, or in some fashion be able to travel in certain areas of Kanto. As that one picture, I don't remember what it was. That it was a gym design that looked just like Lieutenant Surge. The possibility of that being a thing could theoretically happen, or what I feel is going to happen is that whatever the new Pokemon game that's going to come out for the Switch will be a tie-in to Generation 1 in some capacity, whether it's yellow version or just a reimagining of the Gen 1 games. I know that there was hints and articles thrown around where it might be sort of open world. If they go that way, that's kind of a big ambition for your first time on a console. Granted, it is your first time on a console, so you kind of want to go big. But for me personally, as a person who's been playing the games for, I haven't. Besides Sun and Moon, I have consistently played the games each time they release, and I don't know if going too big is a good idea. Right now, the fact that we've been stuck on this on handhelds for so long, I feel like you need to transition properly to the console games by having them be not open world, not like humongous and stuff like that, but also you can't go minimal and just make it just another version of the handheld versions, But I think you got to go for like a middle ground where it's somewhat open world, but it's also limited to be able to transition correctly. But like I said, I'm really feeling I like if we go to Kanto in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or there's hints of you being able to travel to that region, then obviously this theory doesn't work. But I really, really think that we're going to get some form of Generation 1 as the very first Switch game, because it's the first generation. They're trying to bring back the old audience, which is really kind of like a bad idea because most of those people don't care about Pokemon enough. It's all about the nostalgia blindness, which is why Pokemon Go did so well. It's gonna become a fad at that point, and I don't think Pokemon even in the state that it's currently in, I don't think it deserves to be just a fad. I don't think it should be a phase. If you're a true Pokemon fan, I don't think that this game should be just trying to attract the niche audience that left ages ago, you know? This, I feel like one of the big responsibilities of the Switch game that's going to be coming out is make it for the core audience, the people that have been consistently playing these games for a long time. Because my biggest issue with Sun and Moon is that, and with X and Y in regards, is that it was geared too much to kids. Like you're trying to just bring in the young audience, which is fine. I mean, you're a game for children, but the fact that you have a dedicated audience that's in their 20s at this point that have been consistently playing your games, you're basically just throwing us in the dust. You're giving us the competitive aspect, which is nice. I like the fact that you're making competitive a lot easier to do, Game Freak. I understand that's a good thing you're doing, and you're helping out the competitive scene. But at the same time, you're making your games lackluster. I hated Sun and Moon. I haven't even finished the games because of how boring they were, and I hated X and Y. The only reason why I don't hate Oras, and literally the only reason why, is because it's Hoenn, and I love the variety and how rich the region is. But other than that, even that game was lackluster in terms of like a challenge for somebody of my age, you know. So I feel like the Switch game, you need to really focus on all aspects of the spectrum. You can still market to kids because this is still technically a children's game. I understand that that's kind of your main like target demographic, but don't leave us in the dust. What like I'm sorry to like say this right now. Realistically speaking, this is not. I'm not trying to throw shade at Game Freak here. But some of the fan games that have come out in recent years, you know, some of the ones that you try to knock away and be like, throw, like DM, you know, you give them a cease and desist and all that stuff. You know, most of those games target us. They target the 20-year-old audience, the ones that have been playing your games consistently. And they have a richer story, richer characters, a harder difficulty. The game is more enjoyable to play for us, because it actually provides a narrative and an actual challenge. Most of the games that you've been releasing in the past couple years have been cakewalks for most of us, and they're unmemorable. Most kids probably, I mean, there's probably like some kids out there that remember one thing about the games, but in this day and age when kids are just exposed to so much variety in terms of video games, your games don't compare anymore. You need to like bring back the thing that when we were kids, when I was a kid, the thing that really attracted us. You need to make the games memorable. Give us characters that we can enjoy. I'm not gonna sit here and say Gen 1 was the greatest, because it wasn't. Gen 1 was a complete trash hole in terms of a lot of aspects. But it had its charm, right? It had its I don't know what else to say. This was supposed to be a video about the anime, and then it went to the games and stuff like that. But look, to tie it off, I'm glad that Misty and Brock are back. I hope that they're just not throwaway characters. I hope that Ash remembers who these people are. I hope that they have some sort of connection with each other. I don't know. I don't want them to just be, hey, look, let's just show off Mega Evolution. Let's have Ash battle, you know, Brock and Misty, and then we're done. I want them to have some sort of union, because if you do it the way I feel like you're gonna do it and just gonna half-ass it, it's for me personally, and I know a lot of other of the somewhat still around fans of the anime, it's gonna leave a huge sour taste in our mouth, and it's not really gonna say anything to the new kids, because none of these kids know who these characters are. Or, I mean, if they do, they know very little about them. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Well, maybe like a quarter and a half of me spewing nonsense at you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.